everybody, Linda here, the Scrapbooking photographer. Thanks so much for joining me today and visiting my channel. This video got my creative juices going. Lisa from Lisa Cuneo Scrapbooking suggested this hop last month and it has been on my mind ever since. The idea of the hop was to portray ourselves without using a photo of ourselves, and I thought, what a great idea. So I went through my camera roll in my phone and selected a whole heap of photos that kind of described who I am and got them all printed as 2x2s, thinking I would do just a plain grid layout. And then we had a couple of very difficult weeks because this beautiful girl here passed away. She had been sick for a little while and she was only 10, so I've been struggling with that a little bit. As I say, we're a couple of days late, but I really wanted to get this done. Now, at the same time, I've introduced the Layout Library. If you haven't heard of the Layout Library, check it out on Facebook. It's a very new Facebook group, and the topic for July is going to be self-portrait. And it's a way I'm going to kind of combine scrapbook layouts for everybody to see from around the world under different topics. So these are my 2x2 photos that kind of describe who I am. The papers I'm going to use are from the Celebratory Sips pack. When I first saw this paper, I thought, oh, I'm never going to use that. But when you turn it over onto the back, there is this gorgeous dotty pattern, which is just perfect for me. And then the backs of all of them are very neutral and can be used for absolutely anything, even if you don't use the front. Sometimes I might use the front, I don't know. But as you can see, there's a whole variety that can be used for anything. And that's very pretty, isn't it? All the same colour range. Purpley. It almost looks like swatches from paint shop. Anyway, the other one I'm going to use is this green, which is on the back of this beautiful lavendery type floral piece. So that's the papers I'm using, and I'm going to start with a piece of white willow, and I don't want it to stay completely white. I know most of the page is going to be covered with the little grids. I just want some pinky colour around the outside and through the grids, just to take that stark white off. I'll just whiz around with my blending brush and put a little bit of a hint of Pixie. This is Pixie from Close to My Heart, which seems to work quite well with the paper that I'm using. And I'll just kind of briefly go over the whole sheet. And I'll be back in a tick when that's all done. Right. So these photos, as I mentioned, are cut into 2x2s. I put them together in Project Life and got them printed as 6x4s and then just cut them up. So I know they're 2x2, but I want to put a little outside around some of them. So what I'm going to do is trim off some of this paper at 2 1/4, and that will just give us a little bit of a outline around some of them. I don't think all of them need it. And I'll also do some in the green, and I think this piece might be 2 1/4. Yes, it is. Cool. So I'll trim that into a square, and I'll do a few of them. But once I've got them like this, what I'm going to do, probably show you better on this one, is using my distresser. It's going to go around the outside of them and rough up those edges. Distressing the edges brings out the white core of the paper, and it gives it a bit of a raggedy edge. And that's one of the reasons that I did the blending brush on the white willow in the background, because with the white coming through on the edges of this, I didn't want it to disappear completely on the white background. One thing that I have seen Lara Moss, the Scrappy here, who's also a New Zealander and also a Stampin' Up demonstrator, very clever lady. If you haven't seen her channel, check it out. But when I watch her, she just folds these edges up a little bit. So I'm just going to pinch that idea off her and do the same here. And then that gives us a nice little outline of the photo without it being too sort of formal. So I'll go through and do that to a few different pieces, and then we can bring it all in and lay it out. I do have a kind of an order in my mind, not necessarily of importance, but I did sort of have a look to see where things fitted and looked quite good. I love shoes. I love shoes. Oops, Percy. This is our new pussycat called Percy. This one is using the weights at the gym with my nails all done after my birthday earlier in the year. Chocolate, Rocky Road. Who doesn't love chocolate? And this one is kind of nature and photography together. And then I'll just try and get these in the right sort of order. First up, in the morning, my early mornings at 5:30 out in the backyard with the dogs. I just love that time of day. Cameras, of course. This was taken when I was in South Africa, and it was on the back of the safari truck, and there was two of us in the back seat, and we had two cameras each with different lenses on, and the middle of the seat looked quite cool with all of the gear that was on display. My three girls, sadly we've only got the two now, but they are very special to me, obviously. Then we've got, what have we got? Tui, again, photography and birds. I just love the bird life around here. Books, love to read, love to bake. So we've got some baking in there as well. I love to stitch. This is my scrapbooking icon. So that one goes up the top. I love to scrapbook. I also love my coffee. And this is my favourite cup, which was given to me by a friend of mine. And the coffee machine was given to me by our youngest son. So that kind of is a good photo that combines family, friendship, and coffee. Chickens. We have 6 chickens at the moment, which I adore. We have a very lush vegetable garden. Not at the moment because it's the middle of winter, so it's pretty barren at the moment, but I do like the veggies. Now, this is an incredibly special bracelet. There's a long story which I won't bore you with, but my youngest son gave this to me for Christmas, so again, it's around family. I have 2 brothers, one who passed away in 2016, and these were for sale from his daughter. So my son bought them off his cousin, and he bought 3 for me to denote the 3 siblings, so myself and my 2 brothers. So it's from my son, but it represents my family that I grew up with. This is a new love of mine, making journals, and that journal is one that I made for my future daughter-in-law. So again, family and crafting together. Another nature one, because I love the monarch butterflies and watching them evolve into the chrysalis and then emerge. I used this photo to talk about my family and in particular my marriage. John and I have been married for 40 years. We celebrated that this year, so that's very special. And this is Pippa, who we lost a couple of weeks ago, and she used to love coming out for coffee with myself and a friend. I'm missing one. This one, I wonder where that is. Oh, here it is. Okay, and swimming. I love to swim. So that I took that at the local pool with my bits at the end of the lane. So that is the basic layout, and I'm using a piece of, I think it's strawberry slush, to go in here for the title. And then with these bits here, I've sort of arranged them so that the colours underneath go with the photo a little bit. So I've got the pink ones all in the middle there that seem to go with those photos. So I'll speed this up as I put these underneath. Right, so I'll just go away and stick all that down, and then I'll be back to do the title and a tiny little bit of embellishing. So that's all stuck down now, and it's really just the title to go. So I'm using the same sort of materials to put into the heading here. And I went through the little embellishment packs and found some things that blend colour-wise. And there's books there which work well. And there's a little strawberry which I'll pop on there as well. And while I was sticking them down, those photos down, I sort of realised that perhaps I should have put some photos of my children and stuff in there, but I kind of figure that's a given. You know, they're obviously very important and they are represented in there with different things. Anyway, I think that will fit there. Pieces of... So these are cut out from the miniature alphabet die from Stampin' Up. Now I'm wondering about putting me there or down here and doing a little bit of journaling in that tiny wee space that's there. I think that's what I might do. You know, I've got this little bottle of wine I want to put on the side just to balance it a bit. So I'm just going to chop a little bit off the bottom. Right, so I'll stick that down and do a little bit of journaling. So the title's on, it's a little bit of journaling there, and I've just got a couple of little gems that I'll put in, not too many spots, just where there's a little bit of space. So that's my page for Pieces of Me. There will be a companion page, which I've decided will be a self-portrait that came as a result of this whole project. So do keep your eyes out for that. It's going to be part of my celebratory hop at the end of July. Also check out the playlist below, which will have everybody else's page for Pieces of Me. So you'll find lots of inspiration there on different ways to represent yourself if you're looking to do that in your own albums. I'm really happy with the way that one came out, so I think I'll do a sketch from that layout as well and have that available for others to copy. But feel free to take a screenshot and copy it if you'd like to. And I will catch you next time. Thanks for watching and happy crafting!